Michter's is one of my favorite brands. So their limited release stuff, like this guy right here, well, I just can't get enough of them. So let's do a bourbon review of Michter's Toasted Barrel Sour Mash. Now Michter's, as I said, is one of my favorite brands, and I'm not sure what I have to do to gain enough clout or to get on the right list, but I did see the other day that they sent these out to at least 1 or 2 YouTubers. So we need to figure that out because, Lord have mercy, I need as much of this as I could possibly get. A friend of mine actually found this one for me because I can't find it anywhere around here, but we'll get into that in just a second. Now this is the Toasted Barrel Sour Mash. So this is just their signature sour mash whiskey, but once it's done with its typical aging, they put it in a toasted barrel to add a little more flavor to it. My name is TJ and this is Brewzle, which is just an elaborate attempt to make my bourbon selection a tax deduction. Let's look and see what it's got to tell us on the bottle. Michter's limited release Toasted Barrel Finish Kentucky Sour Mash Whiskey. Distilled in small batches according to the Michter's pre-Revolutionary War quality standards dating back to 1753. This one is 86 proof, and it is Michter's batch number 2262239. And on the back, we are proud to offer the special release of our Toasted Barrel Finished Kentucky Sour Mash Whiskey. After full maturation in a hand-selected charred white oak barrel, we finish our US1 Sour Mash Whiskey in a new barrel that has been toasted to our exacting specifications. At peak flavor, it is further mellowed by our signature filtration. Bottled by Michter's Distillery, LLC. We're gonna break this down and judge it by 10 different criteria, and then we're gonna give it a Brewzle score. Availability on this guy is extremely poor. These are super in demand and sought after, and so every time they hit shelves, they're gone like the wind. And so I literally have never seen one of these in a store. Now it's not like Pappy Van Winkle hard to get, but still, I've never seen one, and so I'm gonna put the availability at a 3. As far as price goes, $100 is a lot of money for a whiskey, and it's especially a lot of money considering that you just put it in a toasted barrel and doubled the price of a normal release. But these guys actually hold quite a bit of secondary value. I've seen them actually trading on the secondary market for around $280. If you're looking for value compared to secondary, $100 is a freaking steal, but realistically, that's a bit of a hefty price for what this is at 86.2 proof. So the grade on the price really depends on whether or not you're planning on drinking this guy or whether or not you're collecting it or just looking at flipping it on the secondary market. I'm a drinker, so I'm just gonna judge it based on that. And at $100, it's not out of my price range, but it's definitely not an exceptional buy either. Considering the secondary price, Michter's could slap $150 on this and sell every one of them without any problem. So I'm gonna put it at a 5. As far as bottle design, it's the standard Michter's bottle with the standard Michter's label with a different color scheme. So nothing really exceptional, but you at least know what it is, right? It's not masquerading or hiding. Like this is just a special Michter's release, but it's not in a really special bottle. So I'm gonna give this one a 5 as well. So as far as transparency goes, this guy right here is like a buzz term suit. Small batch, exacting specifications and to our quality standards and all of these things, but they're not really giving us any info. Have no idea what the mash bill is on this, have no idea what their exacting quality standards or specifications of toast level are, really don't know much of anything. So you're better off just telling me nothing, telling me a whole bunch of stuff to try to sell me and get me all hyped up, and then not delivering on any details of that doesn't really make me want to buy this particular bottle. If I didn't already know what it was and I didn't trust the Michter's brand, I'm liable to read all those buzz terms and just walk away. So as far as transparency goes, I'm gonna give it a 4. Now that we're done with all that silliness, let's actually try the freaking whiskey. It is a Michter's toasted. We just need to add just a little more, you know. I don't think you can over pour a Michter's toasted unless it's your bottle and you're pouring it for somebody else. But if it's yours, heavy pours all the way around. So the aroma on this is freaking exceptional. Oh my God. So we were reviewing the Larceny the other day, and it had a lot of that kind of cinnamon graham cracker, but this is kind of mixed in with a little more of like a caramel sweetness, and it just comes across a little more balanced and pleasant. Like it's not cinnamon dominant. And so I'm gonna give that nose, oh, that's at least a 7. Down the hatch. Flavor-wise, that's a good whiskey. There's a lot going on there. If you like toasted whiskeys, that kind of soft, dry, toasted note on the finish, you're gonna like this one as well. So I'm gonna give that a 7 on the flavor. On the complexity, there are a lot of flavors going on in this, and a lot of toasted barrels are that way. You get, a nice whiskey, but then the toast just kind of adds and enhances a lot of those different flavors. It's a little bit of that dry oakiness on the finish though that kind of takes away some of those complexities from me and dominates kind of that mid palate through the finish. So the complexity is gonna get docked from me for that, but I'm still gonna give it a 6. As far as finish goes, it leaves you with a nice, pleasant, toasty oak finish and a little bit of burn. So I like the finish, but I don't find it particularly exceptional. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Sometimes you just drink too much. Even though you made a heavy pour, sometimes you just need more. It's a poem. Even though you have a heavy pour, sometimes you need more. 86 proof, it's a little thin, it's a little watery. Don't find the mouthfeel exceptional on this whiskey at all to me. So it's gonna be at best a 4. And the drinkability. This is 86.6 proof, but it does drink a lot hotter. Now this could be because this is the first pour of the day for me, so I could be a little biased because of that, but we are over a Glencairn through with this particular review. I'm a poet all over the frickin' place today. It's gonna drink a little hotter for some folks that are expecting this to be a really easy sipper at that proof point. So it's not like over the top, but also it's 86 proof, so it's gonna go down pretty easy. So we're gonna put this at a 6. That gives Michter's Toasted Sour Mash a 52 on the Brewzle scale, which puts it well below the B522 from Larceny. Now, does that mean that this is not a better whiskey than Larceny B522? Not necessarily, right? Because what we're grading is everything. The transparency, the bottle design, if you just walked up and saw this on a shelf. So it's not just all about the whiskey, but I also tend to skew a little more towards higher proof stuff. And so I think the Larceny being a barrel strength actually got a lot of bonus points from the mouthfeel, the viscosity, the intensity of flavors versus something like this. I really like this whiskey. I'm gonna enjoy this bottle, and if I get a chance, I'll buy 2 or 3 more.